Welcome to Creative Greatness. I've been working on this for a while now. I'm truly excited that it's finally here. Creative greatness is about creativity, it's about growth, it's about people who dedicate their lives to creating something iconic, something meaningful. I spent years in the music industry as a music producer, songwriter, and a music educator. I've collaborated with so many artists from different parts of the world, and my sound has helped shape and redefine Afrobeat. Recently, the Billboard recognized one of my production as one of the top 10 Afrobeat songs of all time. All these years, through my journey, I've had a front row seat in the creative process. I've seen a lot of music creators emerged. I've seen a lot of stars made. I've seen the discipline. I've seen the doubt. I've seen the breakthroughs. I've seen the sacrifices that never even made it to the spotlight. Through these experiences, I've learned that creative greatness isn't just about talent. It's about mindset. It's about believing in yourself, staying consistent, and having the courage to keep going even when things don't even make sense. This podcast is my way of sharing those lessons. I'll be having real conversations with creative people across different industries: music, art, business, tech, and beyond. We will talk about the journey, the mistakes, the wins, and what it truly takes to succeed as a creator. If you're a creator or someone who believes in the power of ideas, you are in the right place. Welcome to Creative Greatness. It's the beginning of the year. We are excited, we are pumped up, we are motivated, we are ready to crush some goals. So many plans, so many ideas in our head. And we tell ourselves that this is the year I'll finally get to start my business. This is the year I'll finally record my album. This is the year I'm going to take my health seriously. And yet, most people forget about their New Year resolution within the first few weeks. With studies showing that less than 10% of people achieve them. As a matter of fact, 70% abandoned within the first few weeks of the year. I've been there. I've always wanted to make an album for many years. We didn't get to release the album until last year. Even this podcast that you're listening to actually started a while ago, but then stopped. The motivations will always fade. Life will get busy. Sometimes doubt will creep in, and slowly, quietly, we abandon our goals. Something that can truly change our lives because we keep going back to our old habits. If you ever wonder why this keeps happening to you, this episode is for you. The first thing I would like to talk about is clarity. Clarity is power. The journey becomes very easy when you understand exactly what you want. You know exactly what your goals are, the visions, and how you want to go about them. Have you ever struggled with any project because you truly don't really know what to do? You don't really know what your client wants. You don't know how to navigate through the process? The same thing applies to our goals and our ideas. If you don't understand them very well, it becomes very difficult to achieve. But the moment you do your research, especially when you talk to someone who has done similar thing before, everything just becomes very clear. And you know exactly what you're supposed to do, who to collaborate with, the type of tools that you require for that project. So as you navigate through your goals, all your ideas, all your plans, make sure you seek clarity. Make sure you understand them very well. Discipline over motivation. Like I said earlier, it's the beginning of a year. Everyone is motivated. We are all excited, inspired. But motivation is temporary. It's like hot shower. It feels great in the moment, but the effect doesn't last for long. I believe we all need discipline. Discipline stays when motivation disappears. And one of the best definitions of discipline I've ever heard is doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, even when you don't feel like doing it. There are lots to unpack here. Motivation is like an emotional spike. It comes and you feel great, you really want to do that, you really want to do this. And after a while, it drops. But discipline is a system. Motivation can ignite an action, but only discipline can truly sustain it. There's no motivation, but discipline said, no, we got to do it. Let me tell you a story about our last project. When we were working on that album, there were days when everything just flowed easily. The melodies were effortless. The energy was high. There were days that nothing actually worked, that we struggled to complete some tracks. Some mixes took extra hours. We had to revisit them many times. But you know what kept us going? Discipline. Regardless, we kept creating even when the motivation dropped. Some days, motivation shows up. Other days, discipline has to carry the weight. If you want a fulfilled year, discipline must become a lifestyle. That will get you the results. Break down your goal into actionable daily items. I can't stress this enough. One beautiful idea can actually change your life. But whenever you think about the work you have to put in to bring that idea to life, your brain can be overwhelmed sometimes. Our brain just loves easy, simple tasks. I posted this a while back. When it's time to engage in the action that will make you grow and eventually change your life for good, your brain will always try to pull the emergency brake. We can easily be overwhelmed. That's why we have to break down our goals into daily, weekly, even monthly actionable items. Set the bar so low that even on those days that motivation is low, you will still show up. After all, it's just 1 hour. It's just 15 minutes. It's just 5 minutes. Break your goals down. Tell yourself that today, I'm only going to work on the chorus. I'm only going to work on one instrumental. I'm only going to write one page. I'm only going to work on one piece of content. Your brain can easily undo that. Progress doesn't really require perfection. It requires starting. Remember that every small win moves you closer to the larger goal. Consistency. This is actually the most powerful weapon of all the successful people that I know. One thing I've noticed about people who always win, they are not the most talented, they are not the best, but they understand the power of consistency. The universe has a strange way of rewarding consistent effort. I don't know how, but I know that universe will always reward your consistent effort. The more you show up, the more chances you give yourself to improve. The more chances you give yourself to get lucky. Yemi Alade is one of the best African artists. I've produced a couple of songs for her. She's very hardworking, but most importantly, she's very consistent. And this is why she's still here. When you see some artists, when you see the amount of work they put in, when you see how they show up every time, you know that it's not just about luck. This year, luck won't cut it. Viral moments won't really do the magic unless you are ready to show up consistently. If we are going to succeed this year, if we are going to achieve our goals, we need to pay attention to how social media is stealing our precious time. Most of us, we complain that we don't have enough time. We have time. We are just dedicating our time to something else. Social media is consuming our time heavily. We all scroll endlessly every day on social media. It's a very big issue we need to deal with. The algorithm is actually controlling us. But most of us, we are not even aware of it. Our attention is being farmed every day. Block some screen time. Put down your phone for a couple of hours. And you will really see how much you can achieve in a day, even in 2 hours. One thing I've been practicing recently is that anytime I need to engage in some sort of creative process or something very important that I need to achieve, I usually just put my phone away. Because there's no way, once you put your phone in the same room, one notification from your phone can actually distract you for another hour. When you're already gaining some momentum, when you're already achieving your daily goals, your weekly goal, and everything is going smoothly, please don't stop. Please don't take a break. Because one thing I've realized that when you stop for a while, when you need to start again, it's very, very difficult. I study science, and Newton's law talks about inertia. Inertia is a force you need to overcome to get an object moving. And sometimes it's very hard to push an object into motion. But when an object is already in motion, it's easy to maintain. So again, I tell you, once you have momentum, fiercely protect it. Losing a few days of consistency means you must go back fighting to start again. I believe this year will be a great year for us as long as we keep showing up consistently. Seek clarity about your goals, break them down into actionable items. I love this quote. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. Commit to tiny improvements every day, and you will be amazed how much you can achieve by the end of the year. Prioritize discipline over motivation because you won't always be motivated. Discipline and consistency will help you win big this year. See you on the next one.